Mistakes are a natural part of life and gaming. That's why I decided to make a list of the 9 mistakes you need to stop making in order to dominate Season 9 in Apex Legends. I make them, you make them, we all make them. As long as you watch this video and understand why we do and how to avoid each of them, you will become a better Apex player. Number 9. You don't switch your drop zone when you are contested. I've done this too many times already. The sad reality of the matter is, you drop without a gun. If you and just one more opponent drop right next to each other, the odds are 50-50 you're not getting a gun. If there's more than one opponent, those odds get even worse. I've had the opportunity to play with people from bronze all the way to predator. The higher their rank is, the less they contest drops. If you look at the ALGS, the most prestigious Apex tournament with the best players in the world, contesting a drop is practically unheard of. Number 8. You ignore the video and audio details that give you information. This is easy to forgive if you are new at the game. Every action that anyone takes has an associated sound with it. All impactful skills in the game, from bombs to teleports, have a whole bunch of animations that signal their use and location. Even stray shots in the air leave significant trails. All these small details paint an extremely information-dense picture of what is going on everywhere around the map. If you want to reach a point where you are almost never surprised, look out for the details. Develop the habit of drawing a map in your mind of all the fights and squads around you. Even silence is a sound. The fight over there is over, and the winners are probably headed to the next ring or healing. Number 7. You overthink your looting. Looting in Apex Legends can be overwhelming. What to pick and what to leave on the ground. I have some news for you. Apex Legends is a shooter first and a looter second. As long as you have 2 weapons you're reasonably comfortable shooting and some materials for healing your shield and armor, you need to be on the move. Rushing a fight right as both teams have knocked down teammates or rotating risk-free to a good location in the next ring costs more than all the loot in the world. Number 6. You fight another squad for too long. You push a squad, or maybe they push you. You deal a bunch of damage but get no knocks. None of your teammates is down, but they are healing, so you hold off the enemies. This goes on for a few rounds of shooting and healing with no resolution. What happens next? Well, all 6 of you are probably dead. You see, the second one of you started shooting, a timer started counting down from 20 seconds. This is the maximum amount of time you have before you get attacked from other squads being drawn to you from the sound you're making. In these 20 seconds, you need to finish the squad, swap armors off their death boxes, and you need to be in a good position to defend yourselves. Oh, you can't do that? Then you just need to run right now, this second. Before we continue, let's have a word from our sponsor, the like button. Do you know that tens of thousands of like buttons all over the internet never get clicked? Don't let that trend continue. Please hit the like button if you're enjoying this video and consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell. 5. You rush every fight before you understand it. This one I learned from painful personal experience, and if I'm being honest, I keep learning it and learning it and learning it and learning it. You see a bunch of people you caught by surprise and you just want to jump in there and get some kills. What you didn't notice is their teammate healing behind the door, ready to shoot you down, or the sniper squad picking them off one by one, or the GPU that was just thrown by another squad. Rush all you want, you beautiful crazy gamer. That's why we play Apex after all. But take 2 or 3 seconds to look around before you do. Knowledge is power. Number 4. You play an inflexible loadout. Snipers, the worst all-around weapon category in Apex Legends. While they might be powerful, they require a lot of things to go right in order to shine. The same goes to a certain extent for SMGs. As the seasons have come and passed, Apex Legends has evolved into an extremely dynamic game. You're going to have a lot of mid-range fights. They will rapidly evolve into long or short-range fights without any notice. This means you need to cover all 3 ranges with the 2 weapon slots that you do have. My most preferred loadout is either the R301 or Flatline with either a EVA 8 or Mastiff shotgun. Running an assault rifle with a shotgun covers the widest possible range of circumstances that you might run into. As a bonus, you will have plenty of space in your inventory as you only need to use 1 spot for your shotgun ammo. If you have to run an SMG, pick the Volt as it performs the best at longer ranges. If you have to play an LMG, the Spitfire is the closest to an assault rifle. Recently, the L-Star has also been growing in popularity. If you have to run a sniper, it better be a damn Kraber, as it is the only one that sets off its inflexibility with the ability to knock someone from far away. Whenever I look at my loadout, I ask myself one question: do I have my short and mid-range covered? So should you. 3. You don't have proper settings and sensitivity. I did an entire video on my research into the best possible sensitivity and field of view in Apex Legends. Long story short, pick an effective DPI between 800 and 1600 and stick to an FOV of 110. There are more settings you might get wrong, however. Apex Legends is not the most optimized game in terms of performance. There's a whole bunch of settings you might change in order to squeeze out a bunch more frames out of your PC, as well as to improve how well you see the battlefield around you. I'm including links for each of these. Make sure you use them. 2. You don't play the meta. There's a whole bunch of reasons people choose to play off-meta loadouts and legends. Some are just misinformed. Others are doing it as a statement in order to show off. They do it as a sort of self-expression, if you will. Still others are exploring viable alternatives to the current meta. And of course there's people who are just memeing. Unless you have an extremely solid and thought out answer to why you're doing what you're doing, it's best that you stick to the meta. Some legends are better than others. Some guns are better than others. This is the simple reality of any game with a large choice of heroes and guns. By picking to play something off meta, you are shooting yourself in the foot and you're doing the same to your squad. If self-expression is the most important aspect of a game for you, maybe competitive shooters aren't the right game. If you are just doing it for a laugh, that's fine, as long as you know what you're doing. But don't go running a Havoc and a 30-30 repeater expecting the whole world to accommodate your quirkiness. The same goes for legends. Every legend with mobility is usually going to be near the top of the tier list. If you are picking any legend without mobility, they better have an extremely useful and unique skill set, like for example Gibraltar or Bloodhound. Number 1. You're playing with the wrong mindset. I think this is the most important mistake any of us can make. Every video game has a proper mindset that will give you the best results and the most amount of fun. While a lot of people talk about grinding, I really don't think you should ever do it. If the game feels like a grind, stop, do something else, watch a movie, go outside, I guess. The first thing you need to accept in any competitive shooter is that nobody owes you anything. Your teammates don't owe you their cooperation or their skill or good decision making. The game doesn't owe you a good loadout after you drop. The servers don't owe you an easy lobby. The faster you manage to accept that the world doesn't owe you anything, the easier you have fun and you start improving. Growing as a player is impossible when you play with a sense of entitlement. This brings me to the second part of the tip. Engage each situation with an open mind. Don't try to force your preconceived notions of what a fight is or what you expect to happen in a given situation. The fights in Apex can be brutal and short or extremely long and convoluted. The less expectations you bring with you in every round, the more you learn. You also have a better time. Even if you have a favorite loadout or legend, be prepared to play some alternatives. Even if you have a favorite drop zone, don't force it if there's like 5 squads landing there. If your squad loses a fight and you're the last survivor, don't give up. Just figure a way out to pick up one or both banners and reset the game. Even if you're left alone, try to play the remaining teams off of each other. Sure, it's not gonna work every time, but if you don't bring expectations and entitlement with you, I'm sure you'll find a way to turn around at least some of those situations into a victory. Thank you for watching, good luck in your games, don't forget to have fun, and I'll see you next time.